Okay, so we got a match here between Theman0613 and TeamOkay for the Black Market tournament, where every kingdom will have Black Market in it by necessity. Based on the current standings for their divisions, it looks like one of the four players who's not in this game today has a 100% win rate so far, so they're probably looking to win a lot in this game. They want to catch up. TeamOkay is at 50% after one match, and Theman is at 12.5% after two matches. So they'll need to win a whole lot here. Actually, is it possible if Theman wins all their games, be at 9? I think it's still theoretically possible for Theman to be in first place.
In theory.
If they win every single game in the next two matches, and the other players go 8-8, 8-8, and 7-9, Theman could win. It seems unlikely, but TeamOkay, I think, at least still has a theoretical path to winning.
Yeah, and especially with a good result here.
Yeah, and especially if TeamOkay were to win this and then also take a lot of games off of Jerry Dot, then they could be in a good position. So this is a 4-game match. Ties are fine because it's cumulative over the course of 4 matches, so it's okay to log a 2-2 result. That doesn't need to be a tiebreaker or anything. Getting into the first game, let's see what we have here.
Alright. All the good cards are in the black market.
Okay, so we've got Trashing with Hideout and Moneylender. We've got Plus Action with Hideout. We've got Draw with Courtyard. That being said, Courtyard plus Hideout actually doesn't net you any draw, because Hideout's like a hand size reducer. You draw a card, so it looks to draw neutral, but you also have to trash a card. So a hand with Hideout, and it goes from 5 to 4. And then Courtyard only net draws you 2 cards, despite it saying plus 3 cards, because you had to put one back. So if you were to play Hideout, Courtyard, Hideout, Courtyard, Hideout, Courtyard, you would actually just consistently have a 5-card hand. So either of those could work if you were found a better village or a better draw card in the black market deck, but just on their own you couldn't build an engine here. I think you're definitely playing with black markets to try to fill in those gaps. You got all the components here to build, kinda, but actually you don't have plus buy. You need black market as plus buy, but you also want better components.
The components here are not the best in each of their respective things.
Yeah, I think I need a plus buy card or two from black market, but I'd also like just better draw and better trashing. Caravan's also draw, I guess. We haven't talked about that. Caravan is a delayed laboratory. The weakness, of course, is if you're drawing your deck, which most black market games you should be drawing your whole deck. Black market tends to favor big engines. Then Caravan's half a lab, because if you play 5 Caravans one turn and 5 Caravans the other turn, you use 10 Caravans to draw 5 cards per turn, which is as much as 5 labs.
Alright, yeah, both go Hideout black market.
Alright, Kilohertz is saying these are weird banned dislike lists. Let's take a look.
Alright, Snowy Village, Rats, Bounty Hunter, Royal Blacksmith, Mission, Way of the Goat, Ambassador, and Donate are banned.
That is a strange list.
Okay,
Silk
then.
Merchant, Possession, Mole, Seal, Otter, Replace Soothsayer. Okay, I'm kind of seeing some themes here that make sense. They don't like cursors. Specifically, they don't like the weak cursors. They're fine with the ridiculously overpowered stuff like Old Witch Mountebank. But they don't like cards like Replace Soothsayer and Young Witch that kind of sort of curse, but not in a particularly threatening way. So they only like strong cursing and not weak cursing. And then there's an assortment of animals they dislike. Goat, seal, otter, mole.
Yeah, not really fans of the newest set.
Yeah. The Menagerie stuff might just be maybe they're not super familiar with Menagerie, and so they just banned / disliked a bunch
there's
of
also
cards.
Procession. Who dislikes Procession and Silk Merchant?
I think
those are awesome cards.
I'm not sure Procession's currently my like list, but it's often been. Procession can be fun when it's good.
Yeah, and then Donate banned. I guess it's just
some people dislike Donate. I think I like Donate. I think I have Donate on my like list as well.
Donate encourages too much skill, therefore.
It's also, I think, it does admittedly have a big first player advantage problem.
And then Snowy Village, Rats, Bounty Hunter are just absolutely neutral cards for most players.
Yeah, I
but
don't know. This all I think is one person. Like I'm seeing 5 cards in 3 ways on both lists. So I think this is just one person who has a intriguing list of bans and one person who hasn't used their ban on dislike list at all.
Interesting.
I would recommend that everyone who hasn't already take a minute to put Swindler on your ban list. It's the one card that you absolutely should never have to play with. Possession should probably be on there as well.
Cursors, yeah.
We got super distracted.
We've trashed Overgrown Estate.
Yeah, Menagerie in a heartbeat. If I see Menagerie on a black market, I click it.
Draw, especially if you've got shelters and you've got...
Menagerie and black market are just
No,
like such a power
don't
combo.
don't get the Old Witch.
I mean, Old Witch would like normally be a fine buy. I don't hate it, but Menagerie is just so good. Like, Menagerie is a double laboratory for $3, and you can't beat that. The problem, of course, is it can be difficult to activate. But you know what helps activate it?
Black market
Is A, if every single one of your cards in deck is unique, because you've got a black market that's giving you a different card every turn. And B, if you can put your treasures in play before playing it, which black market allows you to do. Yeah, so Menagerie is phenomenal there.
Alright, we've got a 5.
So for 5, it's definitely not one of the 5 cost cards, that's for sure. Could be Caravan. Could be. I missed a few key turns. Who has the Mountebank? TE.
Mountebank?
You could consider another hideout, honestly. Like, you know Mountebank attack is coming, and you're going to need to trash all that.
Yeah, and Hideout is good at dealing with curses.
Mm-hmm. Hideout, yeah. Not only does it deal with curses, it also has this nice little benefit of if you have to trash anyway. Well, this is less true of shelters, but if you have to like trash your states anyway, you already lowered the curse pile a bit, and so then the curses sting less because like the curses will run out faster.
Yep.
Not to say Mountebank isn't still very strong. Buys an estate, dislike, strong dislike. So, A, you've actually now made it harder to trash, because Hovel is not a victory card. So if you trash that with Hideout, you're totally fine. If you now trash the estate that you replaced the Hovel with your Hideout, you get a curse. So they kind of just curse themselves by buying it. On top of that, like, I mean, the 2s aren't terrible. I'd be happy taking a Courtyard or a Pearl Diver.
Yeah, like, Courtyard's a nice card, especially if you run out of actions, you can just put one back on your deck.
Yeah, I like Courtyard. They're just playing Courtyard today in the game versus E Honda. Would I buy copper? No. Why would you want a copper? I'm not sure you. I mean, your opponent's going to give you plenty of coppers. If you want copper, that Mountebank is gonna fulfill your deepest desires. I don't particularly want coppers. I would buy like a Pearl Diver or a Courtyard for 2. I would take nothing over estate, and I would take nothing over copper.
Landmarks. I mean, KHC. That's really the one reason for me. Here, no.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're far from running out of junk.
Buys the states for rebuild.
Yeah, I'll be very happy when I get to the point where my hideouts get bad, which will be quite a while here with the junkers.
Also, D-Man has a rebuild.
I don't like that. I mean, if you're gonna play rebuild, you should be playing like straight rebuild. I don't like the like weird mixed rebuild thing. I see this occasionally where players will get like a rebuild in an otherwise normal deck, and it's usually, I don't know, it seems pretty bad to me.
Ooh. Nice.
Highway seems like the best buy there, I would think. Oh, Minion can be good too as well, because it's got the like draw to X thing that can work well with Black Market.
Yeah, Black Market, put your treasures in play, draw back up.
Yeah, both Highway and Minion I think are good contenders there. I would think that on like non-Black Market buys, probably in general, I'm just buying tons of Caravans. It's just the sort of like neutral, can never hurt you, helps your deck a bit. So if you're
monolithic rebuild.
So what were you saying?
I'm just going for straight rebuild.
Outpost should just be crouching here. I think Andy Smith was saying the other day, and I think I kind of concur that it makes a lot of sense for the duration of the Black Market tournament to just put Outpost in your ban list, because Outpost is just one of those cards that like so overwhelmingly can decide games in Black Market games. If one player has access to it and the other one doesn't. Outpost is like a pretty good card on its own, but it's just phenomenal good in Black Market. That was a curious choice to buy Hamlet over Outpost. Like, literally, if you watch Black Market games, what you'll see, like, anyone commentating say is just like, oh, like this player looks horribly behind. Their only chance is to get an outpost because it's just that good. It's like the one thing that can save your game because you're playing like 2 turns to 1. And part of what makes it so good in black market decks is just because black market decks tend to be so big. Like you just always get big engines because there's just so many cards to go around. And so a big engine with an outpost is just playing like 2 turns for every 1 turn you play, and that's just an enormous advantage.
Good draw.
Yeah, perhaps they're just like outpost is too OP. I don't want that. Yeah, back to the rebuild question I think was being asked a second ago is I would have a decent idea of like how to play rebuild because especially if you're like not a particularly advanced player, with rebuild in the kingdom, it will often be the best strategy because it's just like very simple to execute and it's reasonably good. Which I think it usually basically involves this. Basically, don't buy estates. You don't buy estates with a rebuild. It's just a bad spot. Maybe with shelters you can buy like an estate. But you just, I think generally like a good rule of thumb is like buy like 2 to 3 rebuilds, then buy duchies, and then don't be afraid to rebuild province into province. Because the way rebuild wins is not like getting tons of estates and turning them all into provinces. It's just by emptying provinces fast before the other player can start scoring. So you just like buy a duchy or 2 when you can, but mostly buy rebuilds. And then if you run out of duchies to turn into province, you just turn your provinces into province to lower the pile and you win. And then it's the quicker the province pile lowers, the better. And that's just like a reasonably good strategy that I think newer players just really struggle to build an engine strong enough to beat. The big thing to watch out for, I think, with a rebuild would be something like alternative VP. Like if Goons or something is around, or Fairgrounds. That really lengthens the game because you have to then empty all 8 provinces rather than like 4 or 5. And that's usually one of the strongest things to deter you from rebuild. And then occasionally rebuild can be like an interesting payload for an engine. Like if you have like Tactician plus Artisan. I've seen like good decks where like the strategy can just be like Artisan to gain rebuilds, then Artisan to gain duchies, then you top deck the duchy with your Artisan, then you rebuild the duchy straight into province, and that can be like an interesting rebuild engine. But usually if you don't play the monolithic rebuild deck, you just skip it entirely. Yeah, shelters do make rebuild a bit worse. I wouldn't have considered playing rebuild here, to be honest, but like it's not terrible. It's like a defensible play.
Conclave. Oh, gatekeeper. We passed up a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper can be pretty strong in black market decks. Like,
yeah, no, because that basically just makes it that your opponent can't use black market for a turn, or the card just goes right into exile.
Yeah, it basically means their black market is just like dead for half the turns.
Black market is like the one case where gatekeeper is not a terrible card.
Yeah. Like I don't think the gatekeeper is like game winning here like Outpost is, but I could see it being a pretty defensible buy.
I mean, I'd buy it over Conclave.
Gatekeeper versus I mean, you do want villages, and Conclave is a village, to its credit. I don't think the Conclave buy is a bad buy. Because like we were saying, you got like draw and action here, but like all the kingdom cards that are supplying the draw and action are like, meh. And granted, Conclave is also kind of meh.
And you've got Necropolis, too, so a few actions. You've got a Hamlet if you really need it.
Okay, so
Oh,
Island, Legionary, Artisan. None of those inspire me very much. If your deck were already stronger, Legionary could be really good. Pulling like a discard attack when your opponent isn't discard attacking you can be a huge advantage. Like Margaret is often a great find, or Militia. The problem is just like none of the deck seems quite together enough to like have a Legionary and a gold and consistently play it. Wouldn't be a bad buy, but none of it looks amazing. Now, something I'm very confused by is TeamOkay has just trashed their Hunting Grounds, which is their best draw card. And not only have they trashed their Hunting Grounds, they trashed it to gain 3 estates.
no.
Why would you want to replace your strongest draw card with 3 junk cards? I am somewhat confused by that, and by somewhat I mean very, very,
Level
very
40 play. Big brain.
I don't understand. Which player did that again? That was TeamOkay. I guess they're just committed to the rebuild thing, and like I need as many estates in my deck as I can to play this rebuild thing. But like I was saying, like if you're playing Rebuild, I think a mistake people do when they're playing Rebuild is they like buy a bunch of estates. They're like, oh, I didn't hit 5, I should buy more estates. Rebuild likes estates. Rebuild does not like estates. Rebuild likes duchies. Estates get in your way. Because, like, turning a duchy into a province and turning a province into a province are both fine. That's one Rebuild play equals one less province in the pile. Turning an estate into a duchy and then into a province means it takes you one more Rebuild play to end the game than it otherwise would. So every estate you add is like slowing down your deck. And you get more points, but the points don't what matter. The speed is what matters. And so usually you kind of want as few estates as you can. Like there's some lines depending on what your opening cards are where like even like trashing an estate or two in the Rebuild game could be fine, and you just like rebuy duchies later. I don't even know what the hand.
Not trash at all.
Yeah,
not trash at all.
I'm not sure why we're trashing the best draw card in the first place. Theman wants an undo. I think they chose to discard.
Yeah, choosing to discard for buy. Yep.
Caravan. Oh, au contraire,
pronunciation.
It's Theman. This came up last time I was commentating one of their games. Everyone in comments was just like, "You fool! It's clearly the man." And then after the fact, Theman replied. You can go look it up in the Discord. Theman replied, "Was like, actually, you had it spot on." Yeah. Don't you feel silly? Theman? I don't think those two things are pronounced very differently, at least not in an American dialect. It's just like the schwa sound for the unstressed syllable. Theman? I'm not sure how we're pronouncing those. Pearl Diver. Okay, I mean, Pearl Diver is better than nothing. I'm not sure if it's better than Courtyard. I'm not sure what the contents of the deck are. Courtyard is good if you have a surplus of actions. We have now emptied the estate pile.
And almost emptied the curse pile.
And almost emptied the duchy pile.
And the duchy. Estate duchy curse. That's...
I feel like that's the sort of thing that you only really see in like replace money games occasionally, where
do you discard? Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I wasn't looking.
Discarding the curse instead of trashing it to hideout.
Yeah, I think it might have made more sense to keep that curse around to trash. Not sure how much junk is left in their deck. It does block them from getting a curse and a copper, which is pretty significant, to be fair. I don't know whether that was good or not. Wow, that was A, a risky hideout play, and B, a very lucky one. I guess they were planning to trash the Necropolis otherwise, which is fine. I think you want to give some consideration as to whether you want to play this Rebuild before or after the Old Witch. It depends on whether these cards in your deck are good. Because if they're good cards, then the Rebuild's going to skip over them. If they're bad cards, then you're happy the Rebuild skips over them. We get to trash a curse here, which is nice. I'm not sure I would have triggered that shuffle, but... And they drew a Rebuild, so I guess it turned out to be worth it.
Alright, actually, if you can...
Actually, do they how many Rebuilds do they have? It is, I think...
This is the win.
Wow, yeah, they got it. You're right.
Yeah, even trashing duchy to duchy would have worked.
Yeah.
Since they were already ahead.
In fact, even trashing... Would province to duchy have worked? No, it wouldn't.
No, they were only 3 ahead.
Yeah, that would have been too few. That would have been a pretty cute play. Okay, so game 1 goes to Theman.
Nice, an improvement from last times.
Theman says too early for the rebuilds. Yeah, I think I'm more on TeamOkay's side of this little conversation. Like, again, if you play rebuild, I think usually it's just, you just go straight rebuild. Like something like silver, silver, rebuild, rebuild, duchy. Or a silver, silver, triple rebuild, duchy is like a decent line.
Yep, P1 is always red.
In this kingdom, if I were playing rebuild, I think I probably would have just opened like black market silver in the off chance I find something nice in the black market that helps the rebuild deck. And then mostly just treat the black market as a silver for buying rebuild purposes. And like, yeah, I think straight rebuild would be a viable strategy in that kingdom. It wasn't like super strong or anything. But with black market around, I just always want to build an engine. Alright, what have we here? We have livery for draw, amulet for
BM tagged.
city, tactician with black market is excellent. Tactician with night cards is bad. So you could play a changeling, I guess. Livery and changeling is kind of nice, but tactician is also quite nice.
Changeling printer go brrr.
Yeah. The changelings will be awkward if you play double tactician.
Oh, poor house with black market putting stuff in play.
Yeah, so I think I would just open double amulet here. Amulet black market is also quite defensible. But you're going to get a huge, huge engine here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good kingdom cards, so maybe double amulet.
I think
so you can think quicker.
First 5 could potentially be tactician even. Like, livery is an excellent card, but it's excellent once you've already got a good deck and you're getting like
tactician it gives plus buy.
Yeah, that's also true. Yes, I think you want to get a little bit thin with amulet. Actually, I'm starting to drift a little bit more towards amulet black market. I think is my preferred opening, because if tactician is going to be the first 5, then it's not imperative to get super thin. Because if you have fewer than 10 cards in deck, you're going to have this awkward scenario where your like tactician is drawing more than your entire deck worth. And so I think 1 amulet should be enough to trash the estates, and then black market. Maybe pick up a second amulet later if you need it. Changeling IGG does give out curses.
Yep, it's on gain.
That being said, I don't know. IGG does not strike me as a card I would want to get here.
Yeah, amulets trash a lot.
Yeah, it's just like, if you're going to trash them anyway, buying an IGG is like passing yourself a copper and your opponent a curse, which are equally easy to trash most of the time. And so IGG shines when there's no way to trash. And it's also okay when there's like trash for benefit. Like if you had like Butcher or something around, or Apprentice, where you're like, I get to trash a 5-cost card, you get to trash a 0-cost card. That could also be a rationale for IGG. But in general, here we have like trash but don't trash for benefit, like Amulet. IGG strikes me as not very important. They both open Amulet Black Market. I like that.
Nice.
Okay, and then Theman has. Oh wait. Yeah, wait. TeamOkay has show handoff. What happened?
Yeah, I mentioned it in Discord. They've had it off, for a while.
Wait, did they have it off last game? Did I just not notice the entire game? Well, I'm unobservant.
You just weren't looking at the hands.
I clearly was not. Wait, really? The whole time?
Yep. I mean, I pointed it out, so they'll change it afterwards.
Wow, I'm incredibly unobservant. And they were the side that we were spectating the whole time?
Yeah.
Wow, just wow. It was like that. Have you ever seen that like little psychology experiment with like the gorilla in the middle of the basketball players? That's how I'm feeling right now. That does not make any sense to anyone who hasn't already seen it. The point being is I'm unobservant. Yeah, that one. Killer Hurts knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we can.
I have nothing to say about TeamOkay's hand. Playing an Amulet turn 3 and trashing a state seems really good, though. It's much, much better to see Amulet turn 3 than turn 4, because you get to trash twice before your shuffle, so you get 1 less junk card going into your 3rd shuffle, and your Amulet goes back into the shuffle, so you can play it again. Whereas you play turn 4, A, you only get to trash 1 card before shuffling, and then B, your Amulet is stuck out of play. So,
Alright,
Theman has what's basically an ideal draw here. Amulet turn 3, Black Market turn 4. TeamOkay maybe has it, maybe doesn't. I have no idea. They definitely didn't have Black Market in the last hand, though, so they have a good chance of having this. I don't think I want any of that enough. Like, Workshop strikes me as terrible here. There's not enough 4s that I want. Journeyman could be okay, but I don't think I'd want it more than Tactician. Poacher, likewise, is like okay, but I think I'd pass all these and buy
Tactician, it draws more. Journeyman, it's nice when you have a lot of different cards, but it's also just, no.
Been thinking about it.
I mean, Journeyman, it's okay. It's better than Jester.
Yeah, man. Like, I wouldn't dislike Journeyman. It's just I think the other five, like either Tactician or Livery, I think is net better. Okay,
Yay!
Livery, I think is the second best thing they could have bought there. I think it's a fine buy. Theman
I
is
mean, look, you've got a 5, so you can just get Tactician now.
Ironmonger seems like an auto click, presuming they have enough money, which I can't be sure of. There's Counting House Traveling Fair. Not that you can do the Counting House Traveling Fair combo with just one Counting House. I wonder if there's... Wait. Is there like a version of Counting House Traveling Fair where you like imagine there's like Black Market plus Scheme in the Kingdom, where you like you buy a scheme every turn to scheme your single counting house. Oh my goodness, I want to believe that this is a thing.
All right. Do we take a coin here to get a Tactician?
Yes. The 5s just look so like all the cards I want here from here on out are like 5s. One more Black Market will be good at some point. But like I want Tacticians, I want a Livery, I want Cities. Trashing's not like terrible.
Yeah, thinning is good.
Yeah, quite a reasonable thing to do. But hitting 5 is also very good here. So I think I'd rather play the Livery than Black Market here as Theman, because you get a horse for sure. With Black Market, you have like some non-zero chance of seeing something even better than Tactician, like Recruiter or Outpost. But I think I just take the guaranteed horse. I'm glad I can help.
Alright. We've got City Horse. Still no Tactician, though. Even though, you know...
My guess is they're just not planning on playing with Tactician.
It's a ton of draw, it's a ton of buy. You can put a lot of virtual current coins out with Livery, Black Market, Poorhouse.
Well, you can use just actual treasures here. Like, the reason why Tactician is so much stronger with Black Market is because you can play the Black Market, put all your treasures into play, and then play the Tactician, and your treasures are already in play before the buy phase, so it's fine.
And even Livery, Poorhouse are also just plenty of money. Also, Knights. Knights with Black Market.
Yeah, Destry seems pretty good. I mean, it's draw.
It's draw, and it's also mean. And it's fun to be mean.
I think I would take Sir Destry. Again, like, it would be totally fine to like pass on this and buy Tactician. But Destry is kind of appealing.
Like Tactician's not getting bought.
We can dream. A benefit of Tactician over Destry is you can top deck it. Because you can't buy Traveling Fair before Destry.
Oh, hey. Destry.
KHC is being the pessimist here. And most likely being the realist. But I can dream. Smithy is fine.
Oh, they got a quarry?
They do. Okay, City. Defensible.
Nice.
Quarry actually plays really awkwardly with Livery. Now, normally Quarry is like a great card to get in a Black Market deck because you're buying tons and tons of actions. I normally love Quarry. But it's actually kind of weird here.
Ooh. Good draw.
Probably I would take Council Room. Market is also fine. Or just pass and buy Livery.
Drawing cards is nice.
I took the Market. Okay. Market's alright. I mean, the plus buy... Actually, you don't need the plus buy that much. Yeah, so they took the Market. So all that's left in there is the black. Do you want any of these? Coven is basically Plunder. Inventor is... Inventor's another one of those cards that, like, cost reducers are normally very good at Black Market because, again, you're buying lots of cards. But again, Inventor plus Livery gets a little bit awkward.
Also, the first gain, you don't really want anything. Or the one gain that you get with it.
Yeah. Now, yeah. So, two problems with Inventor. First is there's nothing that you particularly want to gain. And the second is it plays awkwardly with Livery. That being said, outside of the Black Market deck, there's not a whole lot of 4 costs here. And by not a whole lot, I mean literally none. And so a singular Inventor actually doesn't affect at all which cards get horses with Livery. except when you're buying 4 costs from the black market. Because if you have an inventor in play, then you would have gotten a horse, then you don't.
So now, what's the just eventual strategy here?
Well, again, I would think the strategy here is to build a big engine that plays 1 tactician each turn, plays like a livery or 2, plays a bunch of black markets, and then
No
has some cities.
tactician.
Suppose we don't have the tactician, then you probably need more liveries to compensate for the draw, like maybe 2 or 3 liveries. And
then just play a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of horses from buying VP, and then keep doing that, I guess.
I would just keep building and keep building and keep building. I think that's just generally the thing to do with black market is you can't know exactly where you're heading because you don't know the steps along the way yet.
Just indefinitely building.
Yeah, you just build a long time. It's generally a good idea in black market because like the piles don't run out. There's this like massive stack of 60 cards. Traveling fair livery is, I mean, it's reasonable.
Trash estate.
Theman might want to pick up another. Wait, actually, not Theman. TeamOkay might want to pick up a second amulet because they lost their first one. Something worth thinking about. Trash the inventor. Inventor. If you're not playing with tactician, then inventor could gain changelings, I guess, which is like a delayed way to gain 5s. Apprentice and spices are both okay.
I think the kingdom cards are better, especially tactician.
It is hilarious to me that treasure map can show up in the black market, despite the fact that it is literally impossible to get golds off of it when you have 1 copy of it. Something that's long bugged me with treasure map is, so based on the text of the card, it says trash this and a treasure map from your hand, and if you trash 2 treasure maps, gain 4 golds in your deck. I've always thought that if you play Overlord as treasure map and then trash a treasure map, but you had sewers in play and then you then trash a second treasure map, that you should get the golds. Because after that first sentence and before the second sentence, you will have trashed 2 treasure maps, which is the condition. It doesn't say if you trash 2 treasure maps via this method or something like that. The official ruling, and I have checked, I remember asking, is that you don't get the golds, and that bugs me. It's one of the few places where I feel like the official ruling just seems like
that is a scam.
Misleading. Yeah, I deserve those golds. I'm not sure this ever actually came up in a game. I was just thinking about it. It is truly tragic. Yeah, so pre-errata, the Overlord actually would trash itself, and that would count. Because Overlord would like literally count as treasure map. Or if if you procced a treasure map. No, that version wouldn't work because Procession wouldn't actually trash treasure map until after the card was fully done resolving. So Procession treasure map shouldn't work either way. Bridge Troll is like very similar to Quarry, very similar to Inventor, which is like generally a good card.
Another
kind of
anti-combo.
With
Ooh.
Yeah.
TeamOkay got the tactician.
I think you could still justify a Bridge Troll, honestly. Now that you've trashed your Inventor. Again, because like we were saying, given that there are no 4 costs in this kingdom except in the black market deck, a single cost reduction isn't super significant for livery's purposes. Because every card that cost 5 will still cost 4 and will still get you a horse. Every card that costs 3 wouldn't have gotten you anyway. So like a Bridge Troll is fine and doesn't interfere with livery too much. Bridge Troll plus Inventor plus livery would be like a real nasty combo for yourself. Archive looks good, I would think. You could also just pass on it and buy another Tactician. You got to afford this. I think you can you could definitely afford both. And they can afford so much here.
Traveling fair.
Why are you
amazing.
buying none of it? Okay, maybe they're just gonna buy 3 5 costs. This is fine. This is fine. It's not like Archive was a key buy or anything. It just looked kind of nice.
The horses have all ran away.
Okay, they just really want those cities. I would think that I would want to take a second Tactician. Like in an ideal world, if I knew for sure I could do it, the ideal time to buy the second tactician would be the same turn that I play the first tactician, because you could then guarantee you have the tactician the first turn you need it and not before. That being said, it can often be difficult to hit 5 on the tactician turn because you're discarding your whole hand, and so I wouldn't want to rely on having to draw my black market and tactician. And so I think it could have been defensible to get your second tactician there rather than wait. Just to play it safe. Because you're really sad if you kick off your first tactician turn and you have to go back to 5-card hands for a bit before getting a second tactician.
Alright, we've got cities almost out. Oh.
They really like the cities. I mean, city's an okay card.
The cities are about to be lost.
City could be draw, but both tactician and livery are much stronger draw here. I don't think you need a bajillion cities. You just need like enough for them to work as villages to play your actions.
Did Demon just trashed a changeling and gained nothing?
I think they made a mistake there. Okay, so they're undoing. I think what they might not have realized is like you can't use changeling to gain a bridge troll or a market or whatever you got from the black market deck. Because there's only one copy of those. Like in this game, like imagine this was the physical game, you would have 10 of each of these kingdom supply cards, and you just have like a stack of 60 cards, one of each copy. And so if you told your changeling like trash yourself, give me a bridge troll. From whence comes the bridge troll? There is no second bridge troll for you to grab that exists. Not in the black market deck, not anywhere else. And so the changeling will just fail to gain anything.
Nice.
Okay, wow, yeah. So they played it a little greedy and they got lucky. Like this is the ideal scenario, like I was saying for tactician, is play the tactician and buy a new tactician on the same turn.
Wait.
Now you got another tactician going into your next turn. Huh. Well, showing up the pessimists on black market's not happening. See, I had faith. Okay, I didn't have that much faith, but I had a desire that they would play black market, that they would play tactician, and they did. And I'm quite happy with this. It would be hilarious to me if Sir Destry trashed the tactician. That'd be really sad. Stockpile's uninteresting because there's only one of them. Which makes it just like basically like buying a spoils that has plus buy on it. Villa could be nice if you had overdraw here. It doesn't seem super significant to me. It's not even worth a horse here because of bridge troll.
Do we get any of these?
Probably not. Like the lost city could just be the last city, and then you're getting the same effect, but without drawing your opponent a card.
Now, are we gonna pile the cities?
I got 6. I would spin the 2 coffers and get like 2 4 costs, which would mean 5 costs. Like city livery or ideally city tactician would be good. Could be livery tactician as well.
Yep.
They've already got 2 black markets, which is like a reasonable number. 3 would be fine. They don't need 3. I think I just want 2 4 costs here. Okay, they buy a single one and then top deck the horse. That's fine. I don't dislike that.
TeamOkay doesn't have any mid-turn gains for the city.
Black market, right? Oh, no, for the city. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Lots of liveries. Lots and lots of liveries.
Yeah, now you've got money. You can.
Barge is probably good.
Yeah, barge next turn. You can even get even more. Also, getting just tons of horses.
If I'm TeamOkay, I really want another black market right around now. I would think. And well, actually, probably like a turn or 2 ago, even maybe.
More black market cards.
I'm not sure they had an ideal time to fit it in because last turn was a tactician buy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they had to get the tactician maybe 2 turns ago.
We're undoing.
They ended the black market play entirely. Not sure what's going on. I think they undid farther than mint.
Oh yeah, to
Because they
play treasures before tactician.
Oh, they hadn't played other treasures. I see. Getting lots of horses.
Oh yeah.
I'm liking where their deck is going. I think as TeamOkay, I probably want that last city.
Yep, livery black market.
Like honestly, it's not totally obvious because on the one hand, like your deck has a ton of terminals, so you want that city just because it's a village. On the other hand, activating cities I think helps Theman a whole lot more than TeamOkay because TeamOkay's got so many liveries, so many tacticians. They're going to draw anyway, and so what they really want is just like a village effect and no city activation. But
Yeah, changelings are gonna pile. Like you can pile changelings the next turn if you really wanted.
A very interesting play here for TeamOkay could be use black market to activate livery to get a bunch of changelings and pile out that way. So like imagine you play 3 liveries, you buy a 5 cost in the black market, you take 3 changelings, you turn those changelings into 3 liveries, and then you buy 2 more things costing 5 or more. You could easily pile it next turn. In fact,
Yep, just buy a single estate.
I'm not confident that they couldn't have piled out this turn. I wasn't looking, but I feel like there's a plausible scenario where they could have piled this turn.
Demon, let's see, you've got 3 liveries in play,
Can
2 black markets, a city.
Can they pile?
Oh, you could even do like gain and play stuff.
Yeah, so this looks like a win, right? They got 3 liveries in play. So you buy a hunting party, then you take 3 changelings in lieu of 3 horses. You draw all 3 of those changelings. Yeah, they got the win. Okay, so they still got it. Buy like either Swamp Hag or Soothsayer. Take the 3 changelings. This is like an easy pile. Like I think they're actually way overkilling in how much they need.
You could even pile just skip both black markets, buy 3 liveries, get 9 changelings from horses, and buy an estate.
Yeah, they have so many ways to pile here.
Yeah, that's GG.
Yeah, well, nope.
What?
That just looks like a trivia pile out. Like, there's so many ways to do it. You can't really go wrong.
Province is a trap.
And they're even lowering liveries now.
TeamOkay can probably now even pile and outscore.
Yeah, I would not be at all surprised if TeamOkay can win here.
I mean, relying on like players here at this level to get wins in like this sort of manner is the most common. Like Changeling is a card that I find, people underrate at lower levels. They're like, oh, I can gain this instead of an expensive card. But Changeling is actually really, really good, especially with livery or paddock or any other horse gainer.
Yeah, I think in general there's a tendency to underestimate the potential of 3 pile and just not look for them. And it's like, oh, there's like 12 cards left on the pile. I don't need to care about pile outs. And they only start looking at piles when there's like 2 piles empty and 1 pile at like 3. In reality, like a big deck like this can easily empty 12 plus cards in a turn. And so you have to start thinking about piles way in advance. Experiment is a free laboratory here, not that it's likely to matter. You're probably just looking to win this turn.
Yes, Workers' Village, that's 3 changelings.
Yeah, take the changelings.
No.
Look at that, taking the changelings.
No.
Do they have draw to draw on? Do they have any more draw in their hand? I can't tell. Okay,
yeah.
they do have draw in there.
Yeah,
so they definitely had a win. They might still have a win. They only needed 2 changelings actually because livery is now at 2. Even lower the yeah, they definitely had the win. I don't think they do anymore. Is there still no? They
no.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah. Changelings, man, they're great. Oh. You have the right idea.
Yeah, a little late now. Now you don't want to get the changelings because you're low in the pile off your opponent.
Yeah. But Theman can then outscore and pile next turn.
Yep. Yeah, so now back in Theman's court, Theman has the easy win here.
the instant pile. Oh, horses.
Cage does have a good point there. No. This is still fine because Theman has horses in their deck, and so they'll send the horses back, and then it won't be a problem. By the time they want to gain horses, there'll be horses in the pile.
I feel like just like Changeling is an underrated like quick piler.
Yeah, because Changeling can also gain more Changelings. Like if you gain Changelings and then play those Changelings in the same turn, you can gain a card, like gain a livery or something, and then turn that livery back into a Changeling, and so you can pile them out very rapidly. If you have the ability to draw back to them.
So this is looking like...
It's pretty funny to me that...
Yeah, it's an instant win.
The Destry there failed to trash the horses because of the bridge troll.
I mean, yeah, it's just an instant win pretty much now.
I mean...
Just gotta play the cards.
In the same way as the last 2 turns. It's been an instant win. And yet, we have not seen that win yet. So I shan't count my chickens before they hatch. Incidentally, actually, Swamp Hag probably facilitates the opponent in piling out. Like, if you're TeamOkay and your opponent plays a Swamp Hag, then you can just, like, buy 10 things to empty curses. You can even, like, buy curses to empty curses 2 at a time.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to have a bit of a lead. But look at that,
Okay.
4 liveries in play.
Okay, they've got the pile out again here. I mean, again, they can just empty liveries and Changelings normally.
Emporium to score and then just win.
Yeah, like the fancy way to do it, if you're more strapped for buys or action, something like that, would be like you could buy mid-turn Emporium, gain Changelings off of that, draw them, and then play them. Here, even if you didn't notice the like gain and play aspects, you could literally just outright buy 2 liveries and then provinces and whatnot. Actually, how much do you need? So they need to get the 2 liveries.
Yeah, PSLY. This is like level 40, high 40s.
So they need to buy 2 liveries and 3 golds, which is 15, 23. Yeah, they have enough money. Even if you forgot Black Market existed and could do things, you can just buy 2 liveries and 3 golds, and that also wins. I don't know, why am I saying 3 golds? I was thinking that the cost reduction meant livery doesn't get horses. Yeah, this is incredibly so incredibly easy. Just buy 2 liveries, and that's 6 million gone right there. Okay, they're taking the... Nope, those are horses. Oh no, they're not doing it.
No.
Oh. No, we're just gonna... You're not even, like... Look, they're not even gaining horses off of the off this last province, because the horses pile is out.
Yeah, no, Changeling...
Like, they actively said, like, I would rather have nothing than have a Changeling in that scenario.
Alright, TeamOkay, both provinces,
So now TeamOkay is no longer looking for pilot, they're just looking for points. So 2 provinces brings them to 25. They need to do 2 provinces and 3 duchies, but they've also got Swamp Hag, which complicates things a lot. So it probably needs to be more than that. So let's see. They need to score 20.
2 provinces is 10.
Yeah.
5 duchies is 20.
So they need 2 provinces and 5. Wait. 2 and 5. That only ties 2.
2 provinces, 5 duchies. Wait, is there any way to wait,
yeah, you can do 2 provinces, 5 duchies, and an ill-gotten gains.
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't work either.
That's neutral though.
You could do. Let me think about this. You could do like buy a bunch of ill-gotten. Like if you had theoretically like, infinite buys in actions here, you could just buy ill-gotten gains until the curses are out, and those are all points neutral for you. But then you buy 2 provinces, 5 duchies, and an estate, and then once the curses are out from ill-gotten gains, now the estate's gonna be worth a point. So there's like a theoretical amount of money here that would win. Yeah, the point being is like if I just bought 2 provinces, 5 duchies, I'm tied, and then buying estates is point neutral. If I bought 2 provinces, 5 duchies, and then ill-gotten gains, that's also points neutral because they're getting a curse and I'm getting a curse. But if I buy 2 provinces and then like 5 duchies and then like 3 ill-gotten gains, now curses are out, and then estates I buy after that will be worth more. Alternatively, I could just like buy 4 ill-gotten gains and then buy 2 provinces and 3 duchies, and that would also win, because then one of those duchies or provinces would not come with a curse. I'm not sure. Like all this seems a bit unrealistic to me because they don't have nearly enough money to do all that. But like theoretically speaking, if they had infinite money, There's enough points left for them to
Yeah.
win.
The 3 turns in a row, however, was just missing the changelings existing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Does the butcher help?
Demon just now wins off of just having more points.
I guess the butcher kinda, not really. Not sure
That's just a loss.
Yeah, so I think Theman can do double province here. Their hand is not looking like a dud hand.
Demon can easily just buy everything.
Okay, PSLY, you keep saying pilot livery, like that hasn't been a thing that's been true for like 4 turns now. Like, yes, pilot livery next turn works, pilot livery last turn worked, pilot livery the turn before worked. I'm sort of writing off pilot livery as a possibility now. Okay, they're just gonna resign. Yeah, fair enough. That seems like a reasonable resign.
D-Man has won more games in this than in the previous 2 combined.
This is true. They've now tripled their total number of wins already. Sky's the limit. Again, we are still in the scenario where Theman could potentially be the victor of their match. If they win all 4 of these games and all 4 of the next games, and then the stars align perfectly in the other matches amongst the other players, Theman could potentially be number 1.
Davor what? Also, TeamOkay, I think, has unhid their hand.
Okay, nice.
So we're going into game 3.
Indeed we are. Where are we? The player order is currently Theman. Right, there we go. I think they just had to reset the player order because of the leave and rejoin thing. Okay. So we got draw with stables, we got villages with Blessed Village, we got plus buy, but we don't have trashing. So what you really want from the black market deck is something that can trash. Especially something that can trash estates. Because stables makes the coppers less bad, but it makes the estates more bad. Because estates increase the risk of drawing like a dud hand with like stables and no
also,
coppers.
So you've got stables, but getting stables around, would you prefer an overlord on stables? Like,
let me think.
Later. Because
overlord is going to be awkward because
it can only play like stables or blessed village.
But that's one. Like I wouldn't hate having an overlord. It's the debt. Like overlord is almost like a true 8-cost card here because having debt really hurts black market. The way the rule works is you can only pay off debt during your buy phase, and you can't buy things when you're in debt, which creates this weird situation where you literally just cannot use black market when you're in debt. Like you can play it for the 2 coins, and you'll get to see 3 cards, and then you'll be prohibited from buying any of them because you can't buy cards in debt, and you can't pay off debt during the black market section. So you don't want to be in debt on black market turns. And so normally Overlord's good because you buy it early at the end of a shuffle and you pay off the debt next turn or 2. But being in debt is really painful if you're playing with black market.
Yeah, but
the monument doesn't seem important to me at all. Like early game victory points are just irrelevant. The monument would basically just be like a second silver at that point. I often like turn 2 Overlord especially, occasionally turn 1 Overlord. Like it's often a strong opener if there's like a key card you really want to play here. I'm not seeing what that card is. I think I just want to get my black market started early and go fishing. I think I would open black market silver or double black market. Seem best. Black market engineer could be fine. You could get an early crack at those blessed villages that you're gonna want.
So we're really liking the debt over here.
Yeah, so TeamOkay is just buying all the debt cards.
University is not on the board.
So, Engineer Overlord, honestly, it's a fine opening, I think. Like
You
you're
can.
you're a little bit delayed to the black market, but you have this benefit of you've got an overlord in your deck now, which adds a little bit of flexibility, and you got it out of the way before you had to take a black market, so it's not interfering as much as it would. And so now you can play like your overlord as stables to increase your chance of drawing engineer, and then you can take a black market off of it. Chapel would be one example of a good card to pull from BM. Theman takes. Interestingly, Theman took engineer on their $3 turn.
So I mean, I'm guessing black market on the second 3 then. Oh,
All right.
double engineer.
Theman wants all the engineers. They're going to gain everything. So, what do we got going on here? This is an awkward hand for TeamOkay, actually. This is really awkward because you really don't want to play this Overlord of Stables because you're going to trigger a horrible, horrible shuffle.
Blessed Village?
Yeah, I think you just play the Overlord as Blessed Village. You also have to consider playing the Overlord as... Well, no, playing as like Black Market doesn't help you. You can't buy anything for 2 unless you draw like an amazing card. Like Chapel or something. I think I just play the Overlord as Blessed Village and then play Engineer. Okay, yeah, I like this. I think they chose the right line here. Oh yeah, I was literally just talking about this for like what, multiple minutes, and then yeah, playing it as black market doesn't make any sense because you literally couldn't buy it because you're still in debt. That's quite the oversight. Okay, they put the engineer to gain Blessed Village, which I like less. I thought that you're gaining black market there. Like, why do you need the village? You only have the one terminal.
Theman is pretty in debt now.
I would think as stables here, you buy stables. Okay, this is fine. I think I don't like the monument play at all. If I'm gonna play Overlord for the money, and I'm like, I think I want to buy stables, I would at least play it as black market. Check the black market deck, and then maybe find a better 5-cost card. And if not, you buy stables. But like, I don't know, victory points just like literally do not matter this early on. I would just forget they exist until much, much later in the game.
Monument,
they like these monuments way too much, and the black market's way too little. Black market is such a better card.
believe in the black market.
Like finding a trasher here would be great. Yeah, you would think this is the black market tournament.
Janos really went for the black market. Even Wolf Den.
Yeah, was it the last one? One of my black market matches had Wolfden, and I was just like, that ain't gonna stop me because I can't read.
Still wins anyways.
Yeah. I enjoy black market way too much to let like a measly like negative 20 victory points deter me.
Monument cage match. No.
Monument engineer cage match sounds. Those cards don't even like particularly synergize well. Yes, engineer can gain you monuments, but they're like 2 terminal
dreadful.
cards. I'm not sure why we're seeing so many engineers and monuments. Like, I could have got behind the like engineer overlord opening with the idea of like you use your overlord early to make sure you find the engineer, then you like pop it for like black market blessed village or something like that, and then you're into the black market thing a little later. That could be a viable line, I think. All right, okay, here we go. TeamOkay has come over the light. We've got the first black market gained. No, clearly Engineer is way worse. Fool gets you 3 boons. Engineer for 2 blessed villages only gives you 2 boons. Fool is like Engineer plus 50%.
Wow, math can't happen.
And I guess Engineer is also kind of like Lucky Coin because you can like play it for a silver. You do kind of want to get a bunch of the stables and blessed villages as well because like, I mean, Triumph Large is a thing. it won't be a big deal if you like use it 6-4 or anything if you got good black market cards, but in the back of the mind, like there's even extra reason. If there weren't already enough reason, there's extra reason to build big here.
The discard attack hurts quite a bit.
I think I would take Militia. Spice Merchant is really nice because it's trashing. Like that is a very viable consideration. I would definitely think about it. But again, the thing I want most is something that can trash my estates. And Spice Merchant is like the opposite of that. It's only trashing the coppers, which is a thing that my stables could handle more easily. They decide, I want none of it. Oh no, they got a Spice Merchant. Never mind, I misinterpreted that. They want the Spice Merchant. That's fine. I mean, trashing coppers is still good. It's not as good, but it's good. I think I'd prefer the discard attack. Like, especially like discard attack extra hurts stables because it's so hard. Like I'm not a huge stables fan. It's like a fine card and all, but I think it's overhyped. One of the problems it has is like let's say you have like 2 stables and 2 treasures in hand, and you get hit with militia attack. Do you keep the 2 stables or do you keep the 2 treasures? Because you run the risk of not drawing another one, and then your other stables duds.
Alright, we've got boons. Also knights, again.
Why aren't more engineers trashed? Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I value the force here more than engineers. Let's see. Have we seen Field's Gift yet? We have not. I mean, you could pop this and gain another Blessed Village and take the high roll. You only got like a, 1 in 8 chance, but like getting Field's Gift would be nice here. It'd be like +3. Moon's Gift seems mostly irrelevant. I mean, you definitely should have taken Moon's Gift there before you triggered the shuffle. But it's not like it's a significant boon either way. Helpful Day Molly, discarding 2 junk cards off the top of Theman's deck.
This isn't friendly mix.
Recruiter, hello, auto buy. Do they have enough money for it?
No.
They do not. It was unfortunate. The way it was displaying, it was like perfectly covering their hands. I couldn't tell how much money they had.
Oh.
That is tragic. I think Recruiter is like second only to Outpost in terms of like cards I would love to buy off the black market. Wait,
because they have black market.
Wait, were they also
Get
in debt?
buy from the market.
Who was in debt?
Theman. What?
Wait, I'm confused. Wasn't it the TeamOkay who had the Recruiter reveal? They weren't in debt. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this conversation.
They just had 4 and not 5.
Right. I'm confused what the relevance is of the debt comment though.
Oh, Demon has some debt.
Yeah.
That's unrelated.
Okay. So Steeman, I mean, surely you play the Blessed Village? Oh, I see what's going on. They're deciding whether to top deck an estate or a copper. To which the answer is please don't.
Stables.
Yeah, Overlord of Stables seems best to me.
Harvest black market.
I figured out my confusion. For whatever reason, my chat box was not scrolling. I was just like staring at an old message from H-Roll, and I was just like, why are they saying that now?
Come on.
Whoopsie
Ooh,
daisy.
nice. Good one.
I've not seen Harvest Black Market in this tournament, or ever, I think, for that matter.
Have you ever seen Harvest?
I think I played a total of one game where I got Harvest, and it was because Village Green was around, and like you really needed to activate Village Green. And I think that was my first and only time ever playing with Harvest. It was just like the key card in a Village Green centric kingdom. But yeah, Harvard I think is in contention for worst card in the game. I think I have certainly gained Philosopher's Stone and Transmute with more frequency than I've gained Harvest.
Yep.
I think I might choose Harvest as single worst card.
I'm PSL. I'm pretty sure that there might have been better cards than Harvest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I hear Scrying Pool and I hear Harvest, and I'm not sure how the latter beats the former in any scenario. Okay. So, Theman's only got 2 actions. I guess this is another Staples here. Yeah. Who has the black markets? Theman's got 1. Someone in the Discord, I guess. Oh wait, no, shoot, there's one in the trash. Theman has none.
Oh.
Stop getting monuments. Get more black markets. Yeah, Theman currently has 0 black markets. And that bugs me. Certainly not gold. There's no reason to get gold.
We've heard all about gold.
Yeah. Raider is, as usual, even worse than gold. Because it plays poorly with stables. Gold is at the least fodder for your stables. Like, I would take a free gold in this kingdom if someone passed it to me. But I don't want to pass up on a stables buy until those piles are empty. And if you want payload or something, and more like treasures for your stables, you could like gain silvers with your engineer or something, and that's fine.
Nice draw.
So many monuments.
Goons. Oh, nice.
Goons is a quite nice pull. Like, you can't build to like a big Goons mega turn, but it's a discard attack, and you're buying tons of cards anyway, so it's a decent amount of points on its own. Crown is... Like, I would actually probably have to think a bit between Goons and Crown. I think I would ultimately choose Goons, but like Goons is a little worse in the black market deck, and Crown is just gets a lot better from black market because it's like a +2 action, or it's like 2 extra actions instead of 1 extra action because you can play it with the black market to save yourself an action. You could there's also Crown plus Capital. Like if I found the Crown, I could consider getting a Capital and crowning the Capital. Because that gets you twice as much money for the same amount of debt. And you can just pay off the debt to avoid the Spice Merchant. Or not the Spice Merchant, to avoid the black market problem.
Alright, do you want Displace?
Yeah, Displace sounds great to me. I'd love to displace those estates into really anything. Probably into silvers at this point, because plus villages are out.
Yep.
So many monuments. Yeah, many more stables should be taken so far.
Alright. Pile out on monuments and then just spam Way of the Worm to pile estates.
It's like hearing Southerners talk about Civil War leaders. It's just like, why do you need so many monuments of those? Please just stop. This is excessive. Hunting Lodge, pretty please. Did they now have money for it? Maybe they didn't. Yeah, they couldn't have afforded it. Fair enough.
Alright, more stables. Cool.
Yeah, stables I like.
Alright. Monument Estate BV pile out. Come on.
Wait, I think I understand this. Page 2. I think one of the older online clients at Dominion had like a second page where things showed up. And then you could like the kingdom displayed across 2 different pages, and so you could like forget to check the second page, which had like bonus things on it you could also buy. I think that's what Puzzle Box is referencing. I don't know. I've never actually played any other clients before dominion.games. So now all your estates can play Go-Go.
KHZ, another new client dude here.
Overlord to play Monument to gain an estate. Well, to exile a state, to be fair. Wait, how does this make any sense? So exiling a state is 1 victory point. Playing a monument is 1 victory point, but also 2 coins. What am I missing?
It doesn't lower piles. That's the one thing.
They really, really want to lower the estate pile. Yeah, KHC has a pretty valid point, which is they could just play the Overlord as stables and then play their actual monument to do that while drawing cards. What could possibly explain this play? That's a mystery. That's a true mystery.
Worm everything.
They just got like a little bit too enticed by the Inception aspect of Overlord playing Monument, playing the Worm thing. Like, we need to go deeper. Just playing Monument for Worm is not enough levels of complexity.
Way of the world.
Way of the world. Who was it? Someone in the Discord channel confused Way of the
World
with Way of the World. Are they around? They were in here earlier, weren't they? No, they left.
They were here for the first couple games.
Yeah, they left.
Game 1.
What a shame.
Now we play Monument as Way of the Worm.
Please don't.
I am a bit too good at making bad predictions. What did I tell you?
I think Theman's chances of coming in first are starting to go the way of the dodo.
I mean,
maybe their idea is just like frantically lower estates and monuments and try to 3-pile, but like an 8-point lead is not enough to make me really want to do that. I don't think.
You underestimate the worm.
Like, if TeamOkay is not paying attention and just keeps building, I could easily see them getting like caught off guard by this. Are the engineers popped? All 3 of the engineers are in the trash, so you can't do like some magic like engineer popping on the monuments at once.
Yeah, with Triumphal. Oh yeah, Triumphal Arch. But if you get too many monuments, then Triumphal Arch is going to be from stables, and you're going to get less, or from Blessed Village.
I don't know. Like if I'm TeamOkay here, I just like buy a province or 2, and then I feel fine.
Yeah, literally just
like you force TeamOkay to green a little earlier than they want to, but that's not a big deal.
Monument Worm. You can do it. So close.
Wait, this is the same hand as before, right? Where they have Overlord, Monument, Coppers?
Yep.
Oh, please don't do it again. Please don't do it again.
You can just play the Monument as Way of the Worm instead.
Oh, naive Malo, thinking that you play Overlord as stables and not as Monument as Way of the Worm. You're not up on the the more advanced strategies here. Right, they did it. They did it successfully. they have now discovered that stables exist and is a good card. All right, we've reached the same scenario again. Overlord, Monument, single copper.
Come on. I mean, you can actually just play the Overlord as Worm and the Monument. Alright.
Okay, so they played the Monument normally. And the Overlord is normal Monument. To
Buys and
gold?
gains the gold.
I'm so confused.
You have a few things to say about that one.
I at this point, look at that hand. That's what you get for having that many monuments. I don't understand what their strategy is. Like, for a second, I thought that they were going for, like, the Monument Estate 3 pile, which I don't think is, like, a great strategy, but, it's a coherent strategy. I understand what it is. I don't understand why we, like, gain a few estates, and they're like, JK, I'm back to building again. I had enough greening for one day. Like, it's usually a real bad sign that you did something wrong if you got green cards and then switched it up and went back to building. Because if you're going to do building and you're going to do greening, it's much better to do it in that order than the reverse. Because, like, every additional action card you add to your deck is improving your deck for the rest of your game.
And now TeamOkay can just get a province and just absolutely chill.
Yeah, so what does TeamOkay get here? I think I would just buy the Haven.
Oh, nothing. Black Market is Way of the Worm.
This is fine.
And province.
That's fine too.
So now look, now all TeamOkay has to do is just
yeah, I think that was an okay worm.
Get an engineer, just gain some monuments, GG, or whatever.
Is Goons in the bottom two cards? Goons is a very shy card. Doesn't come out often. Should it be where are Goons? There are multiple of them in the picture. Where am Goons? I don't think Squire was the right buy there. You don't need plus buy that badly.
Oh yeah, Goons wasn't the bottom two cards.
Yep. Yeah, so if you play Goons as Worm, you actually do still get the victory points. Not you should do that, but it's a cute interaction. I mean, I'm not sure why you'd value the estate over 2 coins and a attack. Gotta gain that Duchess. If they dud here because of the Duchess, it'll be so deserved. Why would you take a Duchess?
Oh. I mean, all they have to do now is just pile monuments. Oh look, Theman is helping.
Oh, look at this hand! Look at this hand.
Oh, rip.
Honestly, like, people love stables so much, but like hands like this crop up at least like once a game, and they're just like so sad to see. Granted, it's the okay. Well, yeah, they would have done it either way, but that Duchess is not helping matters.
Well, Theman can.
Yeah, playing the Duchess helps your opponent more than it helps you, I would think.
Alright, so Theman.
So I think with like amazing draws, Theman could potentially win.
Yeah.
Here. No,
doesn't have enough gains.
I don't think they can do that many games.
If they had an engineer, they could.
Well, actually, where are they sitting with Trump large points? I mean, hopefully the players have been keeping track of that, but I certainly have not. It's possible. Do these monuments score points?
Do you think people keep track of Triumphal Arch?
I sure hope so. So let's see. Theman has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blessed villages, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 monuments. Christ almighty.
Stonks.
Okay, never mind. They've already got way more monuments than can conceivably help for Triumph Lord points.
Displace a state into yet another
Oh, my bad.
monument.
So one's in the trash, but
Displace a state into monument.
please don't.
Do it, you won't.
I mean, that's an awfully risky pile lowering. I mean, so
You get a few points from it, though.
they play 3 monuments and buy a duchy. They get 6 points. And that times them.
Displace a state into monument.
I'm not sure why you're liking that play. It doesn't
I'm
spoil
not like
harsh points. I'd
it's
probably
just
do
a fun play.
a state into silver, I guess.
Displace is fun. Clicking on cards is fun.
Like if I'm theming, I'm behind in points. I don't want to be lowering piles any more than necessary right now. I mean, the fact that piles are low is already kind of Theman's fault, but I would think you're playing the monument, you're buying duchy, that part's clear. You're displacing a state into something. Nothing here looks amazing, so I guess it's just silver. Lowering the piles way back when has actually kind of hurt them because they now can't displace for a state, whereas they could have if they had just played that monument normally instead of as worm back in the day.
Yeah, there has been a pile out game. Was the very first one.
Indeed. Wait, what? Yeah, you're right. Wait, what was the first game?
It was
Cursed
Cursed
Pile Out.
Duchy
Yeah,
Estate.
yeah, you're right. The rebuild game. And then there was a game that ought to have piled out for like 3 straight
The
games.
second one was the multiple missed turns of livery changeling shenanigans.
This is twice in a row that Experiment has come up, but just too late to justify buying it. Like, it's a $3 lab, but I actually think passing up on it to get a duchy there made sense. Like, you just want to keep the points lead here.
Getting
I hate the Duchess games, though. They're Again, I think you just pass up on these
It's
and buy
a terminal
duchy.
silver, and you don't have enough space to deal with it.
Right.
It's just ruining your deck.
Please don't take a duchy. Or Duchess, I mean. Duchy is good. Duchess is bad. Yeah, there we go.
Hey!
Alright, so TeamOkay has gotten fed up with the Duchesses.
Success. Duchess versus Monument.
The Duchess versus Monument.
Double Overlord versus
It's really
Monument.
not one that should be occurring.
2 Overlords as Monument. Get points.
I mean, like, 2 Overlords as Harvest is actually kind of reasonably likely to hit 8. Once you play Spice Merchant as coins.
Yeah. And actually, then you can just
It's actually not. I think I would just play the Overlord as stables. You could at least consider doing the Harvest thing. You're really bummed if you hit 7, and Harvest is real hard to... Okay, what am I saying? The deck is like half monuments. They got 6 monuments down there and 16 cards. 5 monuments, I guess, actually, because one got trashed. Maybe they're not that likely to hit 8, because the Overlords need to hit 3 on average. I'm not sure what the odds are. Are they doing it? Are we going to see Harvest?
oh boy.
Nope.
Monument.
I mean, this is kind of fine because
And
you're scoring 5 points guaranteed rather than taking a shot at 6.
Alright.
This is probably better than the Harvest play. I wanted to see the Harvest play. Not that it was a good play, just like how often do you get to see Harvest actually show up?
Oh.
Trash the Monument. Actually, that might cost them 3 points.
Yeah.
Because I think they have 5 each of Monument and Blessed Village. I'm about to find out. I'm pretty sure they do. It might actually be sensible to trash the Duchy here. If you're theming.
Oh man.
No, I would. No, actually not. I'm back and forth. I say, well, you could just get a new monument, but you could just as easily get a new duchy. This is not a bad hit for Dame Molly.
Very good one.
Yep, that was 3 points.
Now it's tied.
This does allow Theman to score without lowering piles, though, because now they can bring monuments to 2 instead of duchies to 1, or just by province because they hit 8, which is better.
Yeah. Well, now you've got.
Oh wow, Theman's actually gonna win this. Maybe I'm not clear.
Theman is. TeamOkay has got another dud.
These stables are brutal. To be fair, they have not done a lot to like make their stables work. Like they haven't really focused on getting rid of the estates. They have added tons of junk cards that are not treasures like duchesses. So the stables duds are somewhat self-imposed.
Or silver copper.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me. Oh, yeah, that's a good point from PSLY. Is Black Market potentially worth arch points? Is Duchess worth arch points? I don't know. I'm not going to bother counting right now, but like theoretically, hopefully they're counting that up and deciding.
See, it's a lot easier to like count arch points if you're drawing your deck.
Wait, actually, surely. So TeamOkay has 5 blessed villages because Theman has 5 blessed villages. So 2 more Duchesses is worth arch points. I think double. I can't believe double Duchess actually makes sense here. That shouldn't be true.
It's not only just that; it's also goons points.
Yeah, like whatever you buy is gonna be goons points. But I actually think the best buy here is double Duchess for 8 points, right? Isn't it like an 8-point double Duchess?
8-point double Duchess.
So I think they have 2 black markets and 3 Duchesses. I think. No, they have 2 of each, don't they? Because Theman's also got Duchesses over there. I'm not totally sure. How many stables do they have? Gaines stables. Oh shoot, never mind. These aren't worth points. They have 5 stables. They've already got their arch points. They've got 5 stables, 5 blessed villages.
Oh. Well,
wait.
then doesn't it count? It counts the second most.
Yeah, but the other one is blessed village. So 5 stables and 5 blessed villages is already points. And hey, never mind. The double Duchess doesn't make any sense, but nonetheless, they did it anyway.
Well, you can get a stables then to get
no, they got blessed villages and blessed.
But it's the second most common.
Oh, so you're saying get a stables and a Duchess?
Alright, is it the second most common? Does it count like a tie for first as first and second?
So, like, if you have 2 5-cost cards, or 2 cards, I'm phrasing this poorly. You have 2 stacks of cards, 5 of each. You get 15 points from Triumphal Arch.
Oh.
Okay, so this looks like not enough to win for TeamOkay. Did Theman never gain a single stables this entire game?
GG. Oh man. Theman for
Wow.
For winning the group.
It's still a possibility.
Yeah, so their remaining matches against Swordfish Trombone, who tied TeamOkay 2-2.
Swordfish Trombone is quite a good player though.
Yeah. I mean, Swordfish Trombone can also
with a bewildering
to
name.
lose to Jerry Dot. Recruiter.
So this looks like a strong kingdom. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Swordfish Trombone. Like they're quite a good player. But like Steph also went 2-2. It can happen.
Yeah, Bandit Fort. So you better not.
Bandit Fort seems like a totally non-issue. Like if you wanted silvers, Black Market can be your silver, Patron can be your silver. Magpie plus Patron's a cute little interaction. Not like something important, but it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a bunch of stuff, but I feel like the main thing in Black Market is going to be draw, because there's not a lot of draw up here.
Yes, the most significant thing here is draw. Now, a nice little thing here is I would be pretty willing to add a Tormentor soon-ish, not before Recruiter for sure, but with villages from Recruiter, you actually can like play Tormentor at the start of your turn and then still continue on your turn because you can like spend a villager on it. And I would love to have imps. Imps would be great here. Imps are like basically gonna be laboratories. Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no! Theman, no! Theman, no! Jesus Lord, no! Oh, that's like a game-throwing buy right there. It's but TeamOkay is also. I mean, Magpie is not that bad, but this is killing me. There is Recruiter on the Kingdom. Are my eyes deceiving me? Recruiter exists. And neither of them is just curious in the slightest. Recruiter is like the singular best card in the game. It's just like in all of it's so good. And it's so like doubly, triply good in the opening.
Yeah, this also just the 5/2 is so much better than the 2/5 here because you can actually do Recruiter Engineer, not.
Yeah, 5/2 could be Recruiter Engineer. 2/5 you just buy Recruiter and that's still totally fine. And 3/4 or 4/3, I think just definitively you transport Recruiter twice to top deck a Recruiter. Because if you have an 11 card deck and you're guaranteed to have Recruiter on top, then you know for sure you're triggering a new shuffle that's got your Recruiter back in it. You could see your Recruiter as early as like twice turn 3 and turn 4, which would just be phenomenal. And if you miss it turn 4, you know it's top deck for turn 5. I would just like double transport Recruiter without thinking. As TeamOkay, nothing else seems like even worth considering. As is Theman. Likewise, I could not conceive of another opening that is not just buying Recruiter. Buying Engineer there means they can't buy Recruiter on their $5 hand. Means that, I mean, this should be like, it should be losing. Like either of these plays strike me as like they should be losing. I don't think 2/5 is worse than 3/4 because it's not guaranteed to be top decked. But 2/5 still has a 5/11th chance of seeing your Recruiter turn 3, and then you're as good a position as the 3/4 player or the 4/3 player. And there's definitely a chance that you see Recruiter in your turn 4 hand. That's like definitely substantially worse, relatively substantially worse. It's a bit worse. But I don't think having a 2/5 is game losing. I think having a 2/5 and buying an Engineer is like forfeiting, unless your opponent also Jesus.
Oh man, we're really into engineering.
Why do we
here.
want engineers? I mean, like, the 4s aren't bad. Once you've got a Recruiter in your deck, Engineer could be fine. But, oh my. Let's just talk about this card for a second. So, Recruiter does, like, literally everything. It trashes your cards for you. It draws your cards for you. It gives you villagers. It does, like, everything you conceivably want to do in a card. It trashes your coppers and estates. It trashes good cards for benefit, because you can get tons of villagers. It's just, like, it's so good.
Malo 8, is this a VM or Engineer Cage tournament? Oh no. Honestly. That's Engineer showed up, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Turn 3, TeamOkay has transported a Recruiter. I'm liking this. We're starting to move in the right direction here.
Dima just skips the transporting and buys it straight up.
Okay, so this turn 3 and turn 4 are like exactly what their turn 1 and turn 2 should have been. TeamOkay transporting Recruiter and Theman buying Recruiter. Okay, so we've had enough of our follies and now we're getting serious. I'm liking these turn 4 choices. We're back in serious mode. Pop this for like, I don't know, Magpie Patron and buy Black Market, something like that. Could be double Magpie Black Market. Could be double Magpie Transport Recruiter. Some combination of those things. I don't think I really want to keep the Engineer that badly, but like it's okay to keep it. I think second Recruiter is probably best. You could also justifiably buy Tormentor. I don't think I'd do it yet because I have no villagers yet.
I think more Recruiters to just trash down.
Wine Merchant is definitely not a card worth buying.
You had all the options and yet you still did not buy Navigator. So
look at Wine Merchant's face. He's laughing. He's just like, ha ha ha, why would they buy me? Like,
nope.
Your deck's not... Wine Merchant is a payload card. You don't add all the payload stuff until your deck is doing what you want it to do.
We're really engineering here.
Engineering a loss. Well, I guess they can't both lose, and they're both playing engineer, so it's going to work out for one of them.
Magpie Patron Wombo combo.
I don't... Like, the Magpie Patron thing is, like, a nifty thing that might happen eventually. But, like, my priority right now is just, like, getting my deck under control. And their priority does not seem to be similar. I mean, yeah, if you do it early, it's going to happen early. My point is it's just not important enough to do it early. Like, I wouldn't want to be setting that combo up yet. Again, I think you want to get thin and you want to get draw. Recruiter gets you thin, Tormentor and Black Market get you draw. I just want to play a bunch of those cards. Then once you're drawing your deck every turn, now you can start considering patron such things.
Yeah, we do have a Tormentor for
Watchtower seems best. They take Forager. Don't understand why. You've got Trashers. You got a Trasher, but Recruiter is a plenty good Trasher. Watchtower and Lost City are both draw, and draw is what you're lacking here.
Farming Village. Practically a vanilla village at this point.
So for context, Watchtower is like one of those cards that's like much better from a Black Market deck than from a normal deck, because again, Black Market can play all the treasures during the action phase, which means you can put the treasures in play, and then when you play Watchtower, you draw like a lot more cards than you otherwise would. Minstrel looked pretty good there, but buying a Recruiter looks better, so I think passing on the Minstrel is fine.
Nope, Wine Merchant.
Well, if the choices were Wine Merchant, Minstrel, I would take Minstrel 8 days a week. Like, Minstrel's a quite solid card. It's probably the best $4 village. I mean, it might be better than most of the $5 villages, honestly. It probably is.
Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, there's like, Villa and Workers Village, which are other contenders for good stuff.
Okay, Villa is a fair counterpoint. I'll say it this way. I think Minstrel is like the best Qua village. Minstrel is like if I want villages in my deck, I want Minstrels in my deck more than anything else. The Villa is the nice like Villa has like the best effect. So I think it is fair to say Villa is in fact better.
Villa infinite loops.
And yet Minstrel is like better as a village. Villa's benefit is not that it is a village or that it is even a good card for your deck. It's that you get to do crazy on-game things with it.
Piles are getting low. We've got
I
two
think
farming villages and only one engineer has popped.
I think Farming Village is basically like a $3 village most of the time.
Yep.
Which
unless
is
your deck is clogged full of green. It also skips night cards, which
that can be annoying.
Yeah.
Like Farming Village is, in fact, often ever so slightly worse than Village because occasionally like it can't draw the last card in your deck or something like that. And like I'm pretty sure you can't use Farming Village with Way of the Chameleon. Like it won't do anything differently.
Piles the farming villages.
Okay.
Can we pile out?
Why do we need all the farming villages? Like
to obviously pile out next turn.
Recruiter is like close to infinite actions, and like if you have Recruiter in deck, it can still behoove you to add some villages.
All right, wait. Okay, so TeamOkay has an engineer which you can pop for 2 things. You can play a black market.
Doesn't look like
Don't
you
get
gotta pile
anything.
out.
Oh man.
Anyways, as I was saying, like if you've got a Recruiter in your deck, it can behoove you to like add extra villages because then you don't have to like play your Recruiters quite so often or trash quite so many high value cards or anything. But if I have a Recruiter, I am very far from concerned with winning the village split. Like, you could lose the farming village split 7-3 or 8-2 and totally be fine. You just get like an extra recruiter or two and just like feed it a high value card every turn or two, and that covers like one recruiter is like 6 villages.
Oh wait,
to it.
MuensterCheese seems just completely just no. Nah.
I'm assuming Malo was joking around, but yeah. I mean, clearly it's not worth the long-term play of like powering your forwarder up one at a time. Theman decides they do not want villagers from the recruiter, it seems. They do just want to lower piles a bunch. Really would not trash that engineer. I like having the pile control that an extra engineer provides. I'm trashing it for a silver. The silver is negative 3 points. Did they forget Bandit Fort exists? negative 2 points. I clearly don't know what Bandit Fort says. Why
self-cursing?
They do like double curse themselves. I mean, they didn't give their opponent a curse, but they give themselves 2 curses.
But if you're not recruiter, you can just.
My guess is they just must have forgotten about Bandit Fort. Even if you didn't know Bandit Fort exists, why would you rather have a silver in your deck than a patron, or than an engineer for that matter? Even, dare I say it, Navigator might be better because it can reveal patrons.
No, actually, it can't.
Navigator is another one of those cards that's like in contention for worst card in the game. I don't think it's quite as low as Harvest, but it's real far down there.
If it said reveal, it would be so much better. It says look at.
You're right. In Dominion, look at and reveal are 2 very different things.
It's like a worse Night Watchman.
Yes.
Crap, forgot about Bandit Fort.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you did.
Navigator, true to form, is in fact still worse. Well, actually, I mean, with Bandit Fort, Navigator, despite not revealing, might still be better. Yeah.
No. Also, it says discard them all or put them back, and so it's like.
Navigator would be like ever so slightly less bad if you could discard like a selective amount of them.
Yeah.
We keep getting into these situations where they've just like lowered some random pile, and now piles are too low to justify really building, and they just have to like bum rush duchies. And I'm not sure how we ever get in these situations, but this has happened in like half the games.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, you've got yeah, you can trash cop. Alright. You've got. I know TeamOkay has 2 wine merchants, so got Forager, Tormentor. It just feels like.
I think a discard any number Navigator would be like.
Yeah, we're really
a sizable buff and would still be pretty weak. Like
cartographer costing 4, yeah.
The thing that really crushes Navigator is that it's terminal.
Ooh, Fairgrounds from the black market.
That's pretty significant. Fairgrounds is a lot of points. But the thing that really crushes Navigator is it's terminal. And like the times where you want to scry the top of your deck, like Apothecary or Cartographer, is because like you want to follow up with like another action card, like your draw card, like a Wishing Well or something, or a Will-O-Wisp, and you want to make sure you can hit the right card. And as a non-drawing terminal payload card like Navigator, the natural place to want to play that is the end of your turn. It's really difficult to build a deck that like first plays your like non-drawing payload card and then draws, because you need to like have an extra village just to cover that. Cartographer would be a very good card at 4. Like, Cartographer is great. Its problem is just it costs 5, and all the better cards cost 5, and so it's hard to justify buying it.
Yeah. Also, that's TeamOkay now. Do you just want to get more black markets and start pushing up the 1 Fairgrounds?
Probably Duchy is just worth more points in this short-term scenario. I don't know. Like, piles are so low, it could just make sense to scramble for points and do like Duchy Estate. Oh, they had a wine merchant. Yeah, just Duchy alone is better than Duchy Estate then. Take that wine merchant back.
I mean, it just feels so bad that there's just 2 piles gone and it's so close, but you just can't quite pile it out.
I thought we saw like one deck in one of these games looked roughly like what a black market deck would look like. What is that, like double tactician thing?
Yeah, double tack.
And yet that side lost, didn't it?
After missing a win.
Oh yeah.
But after the opponent missed a win on the turn before, so...
Not that you want them now, but Fortress and Lurker are often both great games from black market.
Yeah,
Fortress
Recruiter.
works with so many things, and Recruiter is one of like the key examples. Fortress turns Recruiter into a draw card because Recruiter is just basically a lab. Plus, it gives you 4 villages. It's like laboratory meets snowy village.
Yeah, also just the fun part about Fortress. I mean, like, sometimes you have, like, Fortress Proc or Fortress Lurker, and you just have a ton of fun with it.
Yeah, Lurker is also good for black market because Lurker is really good when your opponent doesn't have Lurkers because you can have like unrestricted access to the pile. You can like trash a good card and not worry that they'll take it back out on their turn. And then B, like in a big engine, you can do nice like trash for benefit stuff where you trash a good card and then lurk it back out of the trash. So I often like buying Lurker from black market.
You're playing all these cantrips, and what is it doing?
Still not a whole lot here to do. These are a lot of sevens. Yeah, this is rather unfortunate draw.
Patron coffers.
Diluted does not seem to hurt much. I mean, to be fair, they never really built a real deck, so I'm not sure what they were expecting to happen. But, I mean, if you're going to play a bad deck, you'd rather a bad deck that hits 6 and 8 repetitively than 7 consistently. Big money games feel like a real bad example of a slot machine. Like, it is often just like roll dice to see who hits 8 more often. But black market games should basically never be big money games.
Doesn't Pop Engineer...
I would love it if the War Hex hit the opponent's silver and like trash it for him. Garden's probably worth a lot at this point. Yeah, they bought Gardens. That's probably a good buy there. And do you take... Yeah, you take this Duchy for sure. The opponent can't really touch Duchies at that point.
Nice, and now it just takes the 2 Duchies and the game's over.
Yeah, let's see. Do they have the money for that? They got 4, 6, 8, and...
Don't buy Duchy. Oh no! You bought Duchy, you lost the game.
Okay, yeah, that cost them the game. Okay.
And that cost the group, too.
Shoot, I think Theman is now out of the running. I'm pretty sure there's no scenario in which they win their group.
Can no longer win. And the group will go to one of the others. So, yeah, those were some nice games.
Yeah, good match. Nice co-commentating with you. See everybody around.